I've been on a little journey myself. I brought you all some original poetry from Seattle, Washington via bicycle. This one is entitled Sex, Beer, and Rudolph the Reindeer. It's an original. 'Twas 1801. Somewhere in the West, Rudolph the reindeer, not feeling his best, was carrying Santa despite all the fact, walking for miles while Santa just sat. The heat blazing down, the sweat dripping off, the heinous dry heaving of old St. Nick's cough. All this and more annoyed the reindeer, but to make matters worse, Santa pulled out a beer. He started with guzzling, gulping, and slurping, and shortly thereafter the belching and burping. Now Rudolph the reindeer was dying of thirst, and Santa, that bastard, he chugged out his first, then he pulled out a second icy cold beer. Now this really pissed off Rudolph the reindeer. He thought, now why shall I do all the work while Santa just sits on my back like a jerk? He drinks all the beer and he has all the fun while I carry his ass through the hot blazing sun? But then up ahead, to Rudolph's surprise, he couldn't believe what he saw with his eyes. A sparkling pool, a desert oasis, and 8 lovely doe with 8 smiling faces. All wearing bikinis, each drinking a beer. And when they saw Rudolph, they gave out a cheer. They all sang, oh my, it must be our luck. Finally a handsome, strapping young buck. Now Rudolph, he smiled, then proceeded to jump, causing Santa to fall, landing right in his front. He skipped to the oasis without hesitation and without delay. Reindeer fornication. Now, I'll skip the details. It's kind of X-rated, but after the fact, the doe all paraded and pranced around Rudolph, who sat with a grin, even though he had filled his past hour with sin. Speaking of sinners, up walked Santa Claus, who seemed to be thinking as he stood for a pause, excuse me, Rudolph, but could you spare beer? Are you crazy, said Rudolph? Get the hell out of here. Besides, you old fool, don't you know the rules are right over there, posted next to the pool? So Santa walked over and looked at the sign, read through the rules, line after line. No running, no diving, no horsing around. Keep food out of the pool, keep trash off the ground. Swim at your own risk, no lifeguard on duty. Please don't wear Speedos if you got a big booty. Please wait half an hour to swim after eating. If you play Marco Polo, absolutely no cheating. And right on the bottom of lines 1 and 2, no humans allowed. And this means you. See, I'll watch it.